Hello there. Welcome aboard another episode of Rule the Waves 2 as Great Britain. This is episode, what, like 61, 62? 62. Okay, yeah. Welcome aboard episode 62 of Rule the Waves 2 as Great Britain. In our last episode, we fought two major fights against the Germans. In our first convoy battle, one of our Iron Dukes took some pretty nasty torpedo hits, but our own carriers were able to successfully engage the German aircraft carrier in a close-range gun battle, crippling it and allowing our destroyers to finish it off during the night. So, huzzah! Glorious victory there. Our battle in the next month after that was a destroyer fight in which three of our, Lance class, here we go. Yeah, three of our Lance class destroyers and a few supporting Garys at long range were able to engage a numerically equal line of German ships and decisively trounce them in a straight up gun battle at medium to long range. So huzzah for that too. We've got two triumphant victories under our belt. So we are currently pushing for an invasion of Kaohsiung Bay in Northeast Asia. So we've got capital ships on our way over there. So Gurkhas for escort, some Koila class seaplane tenders for air support, and cruisers and battleships. In fact, these are our oldest dreadnoughts, the Camperdowns, going overseas one last time to provide fire support for an invasion. We also have a pair of heavy cruisers. I'm not sure which one's better to send for this task, whether it be the Andromeda or Endeavour, so I just said why not and sent both. Our objective overall is to take Kaohsiung Bay, and then we'll shift our focus to further invasions, potentially down in Southeast Asia. Germany doesn't really have a whole lot of forces overseas. It looks like they're mostly concentrating home in Northern Europe to try and break our blockade, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. They do have a light cruiser hanging out in Southeast Asia, maybe something down in the South Pacific. I know they had a heavy cruiser somewhere. I don't quite know where. Oh, here we go, Indian Ocean. Okay, so they've got their heavy cruiser in the Indian Ocean. It is probably heading back to Northern Europe, but who knows? We'll see. All right. We are currently very heavily in the red, but due to construction projects, but hopefully that should be finishing up in the next turn or two as our Juggernaut class battleships get launched. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing those things out. Our third Juggernaut is currently halted, so that we don't burn through our funding too fast. And we are building a whole bunch of fancy new Waveney class destroyers. So that'll be nice. Very much looking forward to getting some new ships out. These are not a huge step up over the Garys. They are basically the same firepower, but they do have two more torpedo tubes, one more on each launcher, and they also carry 20 mines apiece. So overall, just that small step up for using up that extra tonnage that we've freed up with weight savings and other stuff. Just a minor incremental improvement, and I'm quite happy with that. Okay, I do believe we don't have any special orders to issue, so we're just gonna chug right along and move on to January 1936. Ooh, we have a raid on enemy coastal shipping near the Helgoland Bight. Helgoland Bight, not Blight. And this is a large battle. I'm hoping we get some interesting action here. Aha, looks like we're actually spawning the battle. I'm going to issue the order to attack enemy ships in general, because I don't really think we have the reach to suppress enemy airfields or attack objective. So hopefully our carriers will be able to do that job for us. Okay, what do we have in our fleet? Okay, we have one aircraft carrier, the Impermeable. We have a whole group of heavy cruisers, Nice. And we have some light cruisers as scouts. All right. Let's do a quick double check of our recon. Alright, well that's the area that we're going to be patrolling. We've got a bombardment target to destroy. And it is bright and early, so we should have all the time in the world to do some damage. Let's double check on our range. Looks like it'll only be carriers available. So we can go out to 158 kilometers. Do I actually want... That's not what I was looking for. There we go. Do I actually want to go out to 100 and that much? Probably not. I think 130 kilometers is plenty good of a search. That should cover all the areas that we need to. Find out any sort of bad guys. And that should do the trick. Alright. So we're going to send those off. And we're not actually going to start readying anything up yet. Hopefully we'll be able to repair maybe another one or two of these torpedo bombers. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to get the recon planes back in time as well. And then we'll be able to launch 2 full wings. That said, our overall objective should be to just head straight for our gunnery target and blast it to smithereens. And whatever gets in our way, well, that's too bad for them. Here we go. I'm going to go to fastest available speed to get this party started. And we have our first contacts. Looks like those are heading east, so away from us. We'll pick up our speed to 20 knots. And check and see what sort of planes we've got. Yep, there we go. We've repaired 1 of those torpedo bombers, so that's good. Let's see if we get 1 more. And hey, we found another transport. Hooray. Keep moving along. Thank you for that second report on what's probably the exact same transport. Yep, pretty sure that's the exact same transport. They just don't know where they are. And do we have anything else fixed yet? Nope, not yet. Keep on moving. Ooh, we found a destroyer. My bet is that's actually a corvette, but we'll see. Oh, and we go first contact. Let's accelerate to flank speed and move to engage. Alright, down to normal speed. And it looks like, yep, thank you guys. I appreciate the spotting on transports. Alright, here we go. We've got an ID on this guy, the Colne class. Ooh. Oh my. Yeah, that's a little bit better than my cruisers. So I'm going to have to try and get my heavy cruisers in the fight as well. So let's go turn in to engage. And yeah, I think we need to start readying up these strike wings as well. We're going to set our priority on heavier ships and ready them up. Okay, here we go. We've got gunfire has been engaged. Haven't seen any shots yet, but they are at least starting to target. Oh, and we got another ship to the north, a destroyer. Okay, we got an ID on that. Okay, our torpedo bombers are ready. What do we have over this way? We've got transports. Looks like our torpedo bombers are headed back home. I don't see any other major forces reported, so I think we're just going to have to send these strikes after these cruisers. So here we go. We're going to take an airstrike. Going to take the first group, and we're going to lob them off to the north. Power target battleships. Well, that'll have to work because that's all we got. And we'll launch those off, and we're going to hang on to the other group and see what happens. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, and they are off. Or is they're ordered off. Okay, we got a spotting report on one of them. No idea if that's actually them or not. Oh, that's a destroyer. Okay, here we go. Scouts are coming back. Probably going to get some more random reports. Okay, we got an ID on a patrol boat class. And we're getting spotting reports on those cruisers again. I think we're going to keep chasing to the north. At least for now. See what kind of stuff we can get. Oh, an AV. Huh. I am not entirely sure I trust that. I think that is actually the cruisers because they're still sailing in. Oh, no. We've got an actual positive ID. Yep, we can pick up survivors there. We've got a August Peeper. Well, not a very big seaplane tender. Ooh, enemy aircraft approaching Great Britain Carrier Division 9. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got. What do we got? Scouts. 8 of them. Henkel 106. Naval strikes. Well, hopefully nothing too important happens. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Please don't freeze on me. Please don't freeze on me. Oh, come on. What's going on here? Okay, we're back. So the game crashed and I had to load an autosave, so I think we've been set back a few turns. So, let's see. We are still chasing enemy contacts. And I think that's about where we're at. Still got the objective over here. Still got enemy ships in this general area. And we've got our own strike was ordered, I do believe. Yep, there they go. Our own strike is off. We've got fighters performing cap over the impermeable, so I think we're good there. Alright. So, here we go. Yep, we are at squad max, so hopefully we'll be able to run these guys down. I do believe that patrol boat is going to be out of the fight soon. And do we want to... No, I'm not detaching a cruiser for that job. Okay, we've got an ID on the August Piper. Or Piper, or however that's supposed to be pronounced. Alright, and we are spotting some new ships. And the August Piper is in gun range. Oh boy. That is not a place that you want to be in. Alright. Speaking of which ships do we have here? Argonaut, Diadem, Enterprise. I believe the Enterprise, there we go, that's our 10-inch ship. The other two, that's 8-inch cruiser and 8-inch cruiser. Alright. So I think we've got our targets ID'd. We are closing in on them. And, ooh. What is that? Is that battleships? Well, somehow I don't believe that that is actually battleships. I suspect that those are actually heavy cruisers, which means we are about to have a cruiser fight. Let's turn to open our broadsides and try and stay at range. There we go. Cruiser Colne class identified. And I suspect we're going to end up racing to the east, which means it is time to launch our second airstrike. So we're going to take our ready group. Here we go. We're going to set those to a destination of generally over here. Actually, you know what? Let's set them a little bit further over. There we go. Priority target, capital ships. Launch strike. Weather is somewhat cloudy, so that's not great. Alright, and we're probably going to have to take manual control over this carrier, to keep it out of trouble. Otherwise, it's probably going to go put itself in a really bad spot. Let's see, I'm seeing reports of sea state limits ship speed. What are we limited to? 28 knots by weather. Interesting. Alright, well. There we go. 10 Gloucester gauntlets are approaching enemy ships. Good. Let's see if we can get a good hit or two. And if we get even a single torpedo, I think that's worth it. Oh, and we're frozen again. Dang it. Come on. Nope. Here we go. It's frozen. What, does it not like doing airstrikes in Northern Europe or something? Haven't had any problems in any other sea areas. Alright, hold on. Okay, we are back, and it looks like we are back at the same spot we were at before. Alright, well, our torpedo bombers are on their way. We'll see what happens. I do hope this is not some sort of bug that's really killing us. Most of the other bugs we've encountered have not been game-breaking. But if we're not able to do airstrikes in the main theater of operations, that could be a huge problem. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get spotting on the enemy surface fleet. Do we want to detach a destroyer? Yes, I will detach a destroyer for picking up survivors. I can afford that. Alright, let's turn to the north to close with these cruisers. And we've got a Colne class, and then a couple of these mines. Okay, now these are intriguing. These are basically overgrown light cruisers. They're rocking 7-inch guns and a very, very light armor belt. So that is something that I think I can take on quite easily with just my gun cruisers. Alright, we're going to turn to open broadsides and see what we can do. So we're going to shift our targets to the heavy cruisers. There we go. Target set. And off we go. Open broadsides. And oh my. Okay, 10 Gloucester gauntlets are approaching enemy ships. There we go. And torpedo bombers going in, going after enemy destroyer. Thank you guys for wasting my effort. Okay, moving right along, no hits. Still going after enemy destroyer. There goes another 6. And 1 torpedoes or goes after an enemy cruiser. Finally, someone goes after an appropriate target. Alright, are we going to get any results? Nope, nothing. Okay, we're going to need to set a new strike. Priority target battleship. Location. We're just going to say somewhere over here. And we're going to launch the ready group. There we go. Orders are out. Okay, we're starting to see some good hits on the enemy cruisers. I'm going to drop the game speed down to slow so I can actually see what's going on. And we're getting 8-inch and 10-inch hits on them. There we go. Outstanding. Okay, there's a colon in the background, another Kolberg class. That's interesting. Oof, those are some very scary ships. And then there's 2 Kolns, again, very scary heavy or very scary light cruisers. I suspect that these CAs were basically Kolns that they took and put bigger guns on, because they're basically the same thing. Man, I do wish these light cruisers would actually get in there and engage. Okay, so these guys are trying to screen. You know what? I think I'm going to put them in core. That way they can actually form up and get into the fight. And then we've got these guys as scouts. We'll put these 2 on screen. That seems like a good plan for now. We are out in front, so I don't expect any torpedoes. It should be okay. How's our strike from the carrier going? Looking good so far. We've got 9 torpedo bombers coming back home. Ooh, did we lose one? Oh, we might have. Nope. How long until they actually launch? Okay. So Cap is getting ready. And our naval strike is 6 turns out from launching, and I think we're right in the right area. So that's good. We've got a Geffion class. That's one of the older high-speed type. Very fast, very poorly armed, and very lightly armored. Not something that I would be worried about in the slightest. And we are still getting some pretty solid hits on these heavy cruisers. I think this is going to be a significant victory, even if we don't engage that shore target. This is the sort of fight that I am looking for. It looks like our destroyers are starting to engage as well. We've got some torpedoes heading in the direction of the back 2 cruisers, and one of them even looks like a decent shot. Okay, looks like the R starting to turn in confusion. So we're going to turn to the north, try and maintain the enemy in range. Although we may end up turning back as well. Oh man, that was some very close calls there with those torpedoes. Alright, our torpedo boats are coming back. And you know what? I am going to turn around. We're just going to turn back and maintain these guys in range. Okay, our torpedo bombers are in target, approaching enemy ships, and keep going. Yep, there they go. They are approaching those cruisers, and I do hope... Here we go. Oh, man. There they go. 3 torpedo bombers torpedo bombing the enemy battle cruiser, escorting the August Piper. Or Peeper, or however that's supposed to be pronounced. I am terrible when it comes to foreign names. But yeah, somehow I don't think that's actually a battle cruiser. I suspect that's a light cruiser, but if they're going to call it a battle cruiser, I'll take it. Okay, now we're wasting 6 torpedoes on our random destroyer, because that seems like a valid use of our torpedoes. And hey, finally somebody targeted an enemy cruiser. Here's hoping for some good hits. Nope, nothing. Okay, we're going to turn back and see if we can cut off and engage that mines class to the south. How's our strikes? We have our guys back. Yep, so we're down to 9 left on this group. And you know what? I think I am going to ready up some escorts as well. There we go. We'll ready those up, and once they are ready, we'll launch out an escorted strike and see if that breaks up their anti-aircraft fire on the way in. Actually, double check. Yeah, they're going to go in with... Fighters are going in with light load because they do not have any sort of bomb payload. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. We'll see what kind of damage they can do. And if I can get in and cut off and finish off this one mines class, I would be very happy. We're going to try and maintain the primary focused fire on the other two, on the main enemy fleet. But if we do a close pass on this southern group, we should be able to finish it off and make sure it does not get back to port. Oh yeah, look at that sucker burn. Burn, baby, burn. Oh, keep going. Yeah. Thank you guys for the spotting report of their entire fleet to our south instead of to our north, like we can currently see. That was very well worth interrupting. Alright, here we go. Keep going. Okay, looks like they are retreating to the north in confusion. I do see a light cruiser over here. Oh, come on, stick with the log and keep racing. Okay, looks like our pursuit is still going on just fine. Pause for a moment here, and I think it's time to detach the Pyramus and Pandora, and we'll send them off to finish off that mines to the south. We'll drop them down to 28 knots so that they can stay in formation, and they'll just chase that thing down. Okay, looks like we are starting to run low on ammunition, but that is fine. I'll bet they're running low too. And we've got a second mines class slowed down and burning. Oh yeah, look at that. Heavy damage on fire. She is all manner of not good condition. Let's pause for a moment and double check our targets. Yep, they've already shifted fire off the mines, so that is good. Let's see how our strike is doing. Okay, torpedo bombers and naval strike are ready to go. So, we're going to send these right off. And it looks like the enemy is retreating to the east-northeast-ish. So we're going to target the strike in this general direction. Looks good. We're going to coordinate that. That's going to take a little bit longer, but that is fine. I want them going in with escorts to help limit the damage their AA guns do to us. I know they don't have cap, but hey, escorts are still a good idea at this point in time. Pyramus definitely has target selected, so that looks good. And hopefully we don't go after the wrong cruiser. Heck, looks like they're even picking up survivors off of it. Yep, there they go. Pick up survivors. And running away again. How's our chase doing? Looks like we're targeting the Colne in the back that was picking up survivors, which, probably not the most polite thing in the world to do, but they're there. Might as well. And then we also are targeting Leipzig. Why? Ah, see, now this is much more my style of cruiser. 4 twin 6-inch turrets. Yeah, that's a fair fight. Okay. So we'll definitely target that. What's our... Yeah, they've shifted their target priority to light cruisers. Yeah, we'll target the light cruisers. So we'll leave that uninterrupted and see what other stuff we can do. Alright, keep firing. We're still getting... Hang on. Pyramus has flooding. What's going on here? Okay, looks like we limited it. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Yep. Belt and belt extended. Hull damaged by splinters. Yep, that would cause some flooding. So the enemy cruiser is firing back. They're not doing a whole lot, though. So I think we're doing just fine there. And how's the Pandora doing? She's closing in right fast. That's good. How is the Mines herself doing? Heavy damage, on fire, and generally looking rather poor. Sounds good to me. We'll turn a little bit closer so we can get some proper finishing off there. How are these guys doing? Yeah, right at extreme range. Okay. No significant damage on the Enterprise. How's the Argonaut? Doing fine. How's the Diadem? Doing fine. Looks like we've taken some hits, but we're still in good shape. What about the others? Pioneer, doing fine. Brilliant. And Sirius, yep, all doing fine. Okay, keep firing. Oh, taking a secondary battery hit. Alright, we'll turn to open broadsides and maintain range against that Mines class. Let's see, how's our targeting going? Yeah, they're still targeting cruisers. I'm going to shift fire now. We'll see if we can get a proper finish off now that we've got all ships on target. There we go. Shift our fire and start getting it. Okay, anything else? We've got some sort of unknown ship over this way. My bet is transport. How's our stuff over here doing? Yep, those are spotting reports that I don't care about. These guys are doing just fine. That is our light cruisers going after this poor fellow. Yep, I'm pretty sure she is going to be done for soon. Alright, how's our strikes doing? We do have another group of 12 ready, so let's start readying them up. How's our launching group doing? Taking off. Hang on, that's not the group I'm looking for. Okay, deselect recon. Okay, naval strike is launching. And the escort is already in the air. Alright, sweet. So they should be on their way momentarily. Okay, off we go. Okay, so we have targeted the enemy cruiser now. Oh, come on, what's going on here? Pandora is detached, targeting that destroyer. How's Pyramus doing? Still doing just fine. Looks like we're running a little bit low on ammunition. Okay, turn to engage. How's Pandora doing on ammunition? Still doing fine. I do think, though, that we should turn to close the range. Still don't know where that August Peeper has gone. And yep, there goes our strike. They are closing in. Heading in the right direction. Hopefully they'll target the right ships. Alright, keep marching on. Ooh, a transport. I like the looks of that. Okay, there we go. We're getting some large caliber hits on the mains. There we go. Gloucester gauntlets are approaching enemy ships. Keep marching. And here we go. First target going in. Targeting enemy cruiser. Ooh. What are cruisers doing over here? There's not supposed to be any cruisers over there. I do not like that. So we are going to turn these groups around. Actually, hang on. Easy solution here. We're going to put you guys on support. Actually, yeah, support for the carriers. Turn you guys around and get back to the carrier fleet. Absolutely ASAP. So the carriers do not, or so that my carrier does not end up stumbling into an enemy cruiser force again. Okay, looks like that mains is pretty much out of the fight, so we can turn back to the north. And we'll let the Pandora keep chasing that destroyer. So I think this area is pretty well taken care of for at least the next few minutes. Okay, we got 4 torpedo bombers, still targeting that CL. And nothing else. Yeah, nothing else. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that transport is done for. Looks like they've got destroyers running in for defensive strikes. So we're going to turn hard port and hopefully spoil their shot. Oh, interesting. I do like the looks of torpedo hits on enemy ships. Not particularly thrilled about torpedoes on a transport, but hey, every little bit counts. We're going to race to the north. All right, what's going on here? We got more recon going out. Why do I have another wave of recon going out? I guess it's far enough into the afternoon that it's time to send out some recon. How's our strike going? Ah, we are ready. So let's pick a location over this way. Priority target battleships looks good. And ooh, landing at night. Regardless of coordinated strike or not. Yeah, I don't think that's worth it. Okay, we're going to hold off on launching that. In fact, actually, hang on. So we did have carrier strikes over in this general area, though. So we're going to set this direction. And we are going to launch these guys off at that previous carrier. Actually, hang on. Let's see. What was our most recent spotting report? Okay, this guy. Yeah, I think we're going to target this group. So we're actually going to go off of the target. So here we go. 1 cruiser, course northeast, escort number 149. Range 13, bearing 11, sounds good to me. Okay, that is our target. And we're going to send these torpedo bombers off. Landing at dusk. Okay, nope. Not worth it. The skill and capability of my aircrew is far more important than a single torpedo hit. We have already done plenty of damage with these. Our primary objective is to maintain these aircrews intact. So it is not worth it. Alright, we do need to take a dog leg with the heavy cruiser force, though, so we don't get into enemy destroyer torpedo arcs. And we're going to keep on chasing this last mines class. Okay, do we want to pick up survivors? Yep, we'll do that. Yep, I do believe this fellow is sinking. I concur with that statement. And I think we can send these guys back up. In fact, what are you guys supposed to be? You're supposed to be a screen for the Enterprise. What are you supposed to be? Screen for the Enterprise. And what are you guys supposed to be? Support for the impermeable. Okay. Okay. Sounds good to me. So we're going to put you guys back on screen. We can turn you back on AI control so you go racing back. And the Pandora, I think we're going to put you on core on the Pyramus. So you actually rejoin the force. Hopefully. Alright. That one's pretty well set. Off you guys go. And we'll just keep the clock ticking. Try and race these guys out. Oh, there goes enemy destroyers. I'm going to order a flotilla attack. And I think we're going to break the cruisers off. And we'll see if our destroyers actually get in there and do some fighting. Oh. There we go. Probably the southern guy. Yep, there he is. Well, pretty sure he was already in trouble, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now we're going to turn back to chase. Maintain gunfire on whatever we can. And hopefully our destroyers will actually get in there and fight. Go, fight, win. That is the objective. Come on. Keep it up. I'm glad you guys are targeting, but I would certainly prefer if you were actually firing. Oh, there we go. She is stopped. Outstanding. All right, destroyers are doing torpedo attacks, and they are driving them off. Good, good, good. All right, time to break off. I think we'll just turn back to the west. Oh, who got hit? Aha! There we go. Perfect. I do believe that those cruisers are done for. And perfect timing, here comes the night. We can turn back towards our forces. What are you doing, Pandora? I forgot to put you under AI control. There we go. All right, let us reform the group. And disengage. Pretty sure that mines is done. We have a second mines to the south that we have finished off, and I have no idea what happened to the third. But all in all, I think this was a glorious victory. Now all we have to do is successfully disengage. I'm going to drop speed down to 20 knots. Sounds good to me. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to drop speed down to cruising. We're going to go to fastest available speed. Hang on, who just spotted something? Oh, that's interesting. Enemy forces passing to the north. And that is a successful reform and disengage. Well, I thought. Oh, God. Carrier, get out of there. Hard a port. Full speed ahead. Disengage, disengage. Oh, I do not want to have a night fight right now. Watch out, impermeable. Please don't get torpedoed. Hoist the flotilla attack signal. Let's get these destroyers in the action. Okay, there are almost certainly torpedoes out. Well, one of our destroyers just got hit. So we're going to take manual control over that. We're going to drop her down 6 knots. We're going to turn her away, and the impermeable is going to turn south. And I think that's it. Hey! Ah! There's more! Run away! Hang on, do we have any strikes ready? Oh, God. Stand down. We do not want any more fueled and loaded bombers in the hangar deck. Not while we've got gunfire right now. Stand down. I have no idea where the enemy is, and I want to get out of here. Okay, we'll put that back on AI control. And we're turning west. Well, there goes one of our destroyers. I still count this as a significant victory. What do we got? What do we got? Morris sights an unknown ship. Oh, come on. Okay, successfully disengaged. Alright, and we are getting out of here. Oh, well. That was quite the fight. No idea what that fellow is doing. He's off to, I don't know, off to beat the German army single-handedly? Who knows? But apparently he thought better of it. And there we go. No opposing ships are inside of each other. Scenario length is reached. The battle is over. Ha ha. Well, there we go. We sank all 3 heavy cruisers. They did still have a CVL out there, so that's interesting. Huh. And we sank a destroyer, a corvette, and an auxiliary. And all we lost in return was a destroyer. We did have light damage on our carrier due to that close-range engagement. And medium damage on a few other vessels. Alright, let's see how we did overall. So our aircraft didn't score any significant hits. I didn't see a single torpedo hit. So that's a little bit annoying. But hey, they certainly got some practice. Total losses. 2 fighters lost on ground. So that's probably... Ooh, 8 lost on ground there. Alright, let's see what the overall damage was. How bad did things go? Okay. We'll take a look at the cruisers in a little bit. I want to know about the carrier. So she took 4 medium and 1 light hit. Let's see what actually happened. Oh my. Okay, so... Oh man. That could have been really bad. Splinters, perforated uptakes, and a fire started. Okay. So that was a 4-inch at point-blank range. So that was from a destroyer. We had a 6-inch lower belt edge hit. High explosive, failed to penetrate. So that's lucky. 6-inch superstructure hit, aircraft destroyed. Yep, that would account for many of our aircraft losses. Superstructure hit, main gun crews cut down by splinters. Yep, I don't have any sort of splinter protection for these things. So yeah, that does check. Okay. 6-inch near miss. 6-inch superstructure, splinters, perforated uptakes. Okay, so that's a second significant hit. And then 40 minutes later, fire extinguished. Okay. We got very lucky there. If that had gone any worse, that fire could have raged out of control and burned this entire ship to the waterline. So we got very, very lucky there. Maybe there is something to providing some armor. Something just to stop those random little shell hits. I don't think it'd help against the bigger caliber stuff. But if they're firing like 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch HE, I do not want destroyers taking out my carriers. So yeah, that is definitely a consideration. Alright, let's take a quick look and see how we did against these heavy cruisers. Okay, so 52 medium hits, so that was our large caliber stuff. And we're seeing... Alright, so a lot of 8-inch hits. At 14,000, turret top we were not able to go through. 15,000, not able to go through turret top. Hull hit, okay. Near miss. Superstructure hit, belt extended. Deck, splinters damage hull. Ooh, that's significant. Alright, at 15,000, when we get a proper structure hit on the turret, not the turret top, we are able to penetrate and disable the turret. And then turret X destroyed. hull hit, turret X hit, already destroyed, so that didn't do anything. Hull hit belt at 14,000 yards, failed to penetrate. And then we get splinters in the uptakes. Another splinters and uptakes, another splinters and uptakes. Splinters damage hull. Oh, wow, that was from a 4-inch hit? Oh my. When it's flooding, secondary battery scores some hits, torpedo tubes hit. Fire control knocked out. Okay, so we are able to do damage, but their armor did prove effective under some conditions. Here you go, 8-inch, unable to penetrate the belt at 16,500 yards. So they are seeing some protection at the longer engagement ranges. Okay, so that is actually very interesting. Shows that, yeah, even relatively light armor does provide protection as long as the range is fairly long. So I guess that does justify having somewhat lighter armor. Let's see how the Scharnhorst did. Okay, this is the one that burnt out and got torpedoed. So this is the one to the south. Okay, secondary guns knocked out by splinters. So that must have been the lead ship in the force. Okay, 10-inch. Punching the secondary battery. Yeah, it doesn't look like she has any secondary armor, so yep, not surprised. Hull hit belt penetrated at 14,000 yards. Fore and aft, secondary battery, yep. Oh man, they shot down one of my torpedo bombers. Ooh, they had a torpedo tube explode. Well, that's nasty. Okay, yep, that is why I do not bother with torpedo tubes on heavy cruisers. They're just not worth the risk. They're basically mini battleships, and it is not worth the risk to suffer that kind of explosion. Okay, secondary battery hits, superstructure bridge damaged, yep. Secondary guns knocked out by splinters. Yeah, they don't have any sort of splinter protection. Okay, superstructure hit, splinters, perforated uptakes, turret disabled. Yeah, hang on. 8-inch, failing to penetrate at 10,000 yards. Okay. So, yep, I do believe that that is justified. And then we start getting the fire starting to spread. Spread, reduced by damage control. Then we start firing on them again. Pyramus and Pandora lobbing high explosive at them. So, yep, that'd definitely complicate matters quite a bit. Throwing in some 4-inch as well. And yeah, that'll definitely screw up their day. And there we go. Fire's raging out of control. Ship abandoned. And then we throw some more gunfire their way and the torpedo. Huzzah! Wow, and that was a pretty good crew as well. They must be very annoyed about losing that. Alright, quick review of the Vineta as well. She also took torpedo hits. Interesting. Alright, so this must have been the one that we disabled, the last one running. Alright, so we're getting some 8-inch hits. Not doing any critical damage at those long ranges, but we are doing damage, so that is... Oh, my. Electric power disabled. Turret destroyed. Took them almost 20 minutes to get electric power back. Yeah, that's not good. I can just imagine trying to get the boilers back online in the dark, no electricity going. That is scary stuff. And then looks like a whole bunch of 6-inch gunfire. Evading air attack. And then comes under 8-inch gunfire again from the Argonaut. Okay, looks like she has flooding issues. Oh, we got her on fire. Limits flooding. Wow. Fire got up very quickly. Well, that's surprising. Where did this fire come from? So here's fire spreads. There's another fire spreads. Was there any other fires? I'm not seeing any other fires here. So I have no idea where that fire come from. Okay, so here's bridge destroyed. There's the electric power disabled. I have no idea where that fire came from. So we're definitely getting some insufficient reporting here on the status of fires and flooding. Because this is not the first time that we have seen fires come from out of nowhere. No reports about a fire starting, and then the next thing we know, fire spreads, and what do you know, we're at an extremely high fire value without any sort of warning. Alright, but in this case, she sank due to flooding out of control, not due to fires. So, yeah. And that would explain why we ceased fire on her eventually. Okay. And there we go. Actually, hang on. Did all three of these? No. Okay. That must have been the last one then. The one to the north. Okay. I think we will call this to a close with a major decisive cruiser battle. And actually, hang on. What was their carrier? Because they did have a CVL here. And I believe we damaged it. There's the impermeable. She got away relatively clean. Where's the CVL? I want to look at what they're rocking here. Okay, so here's the CVL Berlin. And there's the seaplane carrier August Pieper. Okay, so the Berlin. Alright, fairly small carrier, light aircraft carrier, only 6,500 tons. This looks like a light cruiser conversion. She's got mines. She's got 0 4-inch guns, and she has 6 aircraft. Well, that's about what you would get for a CVL conversion out of a light cruiser. Very fast, though, I'll give her that. Somehow I hope that isn't true. I hope she doesn't just have an air wing of 6 planes. The August Piper, however, that is a much more reasonable vessel. 8 aircraft on a pretty decent platform. All things considered, not bad, not bad. Alright, in all seriousness though, it is time to call this episode to a close, so we'll exit the battle here. Major victory, 2 prestige, hurrah. We'll call this the cruiser battle of Helgoland Bight. There we go. Oh boy, the German Führer has held a speech announcing total war. This war will be long and fought to the end. Well, that's awfully rude of him. Here I was hoping for a nice quick thing, since they're the last major surface fleet. But I guess not. Alright, Leviathan is commissioned into the Navy. Huzzah. And of course the enemy, after their speech about total war, has immediately sounded us out about a negotiated peace, with us gaining disputed border areas and some of their colonies. Prime Minister wants to know my opinion. I do believe that we can crush them completely. We do have a significant military advantage here. And the German Führer holds another speech, this time dismissing all peace negotiations. Well, they're the ones who approached us. Ooh. Research breakthrough on machinery development, a 500 psi steam plant. 2% weight savings on machinery. That's pretty significant. Turns out the higher pressure your steam is at, the more work you're able to do with a given size of main engines. So there's only so much that we can do for a given size of main engines, but the higher pressure you're putting in, the more energy we're able to take out of the steam using your main engines. So that significantly improves our efficiency. So if we're able to operate at a higher pressure, which it's actually pretty scary having very high pressure steam, requires very, very strong materials to operate at that kind of pressure. But if you're able to do it, that gives you some pretty good efficiency on your main engines. I mean, I've worked on 500 psi turbines before, and they are pretty small for all the horsepower that they put out. And they're small enough that I can reach from one side to the other with my arms. And, yep. That's enough to push a very large vessel at very high speed. So, yeah, 500 psi steam plant, that's a very significant development. Oh, wait, a rebellion in Midway? What? Huh. Our submarine has torpedoed and sunk a German seaplane tender. Hooray! One of our corvettes has been sunk. And the Germans are starting to send out raiders. Okay. And our blockade continues to be effective. Alright, and there we go. This episode has gone on long enough. It is time to call it to a close. So, until next time, this is Kator87, signing off.